Hello, my name is Chris McDonald. I'm the Chief Executive of the Materials Processing Institute, which works with the steel industry around the world to develop new technologies. I've been in and around the steel industry for 20 years, and I want to talk a bit about the importance of steel and why we need to care for our steel industry in the UK. In the last year, one of the UK's largest steel producers has fallen into administration, and another one has announced plant closures and significant job losses. To the casual observer, the story of the UK steel industry is one of continual and inevitable decline. And this is certainly the view of many overseas observers, people who I talk to regularly and who look on with puzzlement as the UK industry lurches from crisis to crisis. I have my own views on what needs to be done to put the UK industry on a firmer footing, but I thought it would be interesting to talk about why the steel industry is important at all and why we need to care about it. Steel is vital for human life. Alongside air, water and food, the next basic element that we all need is steel. Steel consumption rises with economic growth and with population. In fact, it's not possible to raise the standard of living of people across the world without steel. The UK is also a sizable and growing market for steel, with about 1/3 of a tonne of steel consumed for every man, woman and child in this country. Everyone, everywhere needs steel. This creates a unique problem of competition. All national governments are rightly prepared to intervene to ensure that their domestic steel industry is able to provide for the needs of their economy. This ultra-competitive industry supplies differentiated products, added value services, are close to the marginal cost of production. In this business environment, it is extremely difficult for a non-state operator to thrive. This is why every advanced economy around the world takes some steps to protect its domestic steel industry, and it's also why the steel industry is a uniquely difficult industry in which to survive. The UK steel industry provides a material that is essential for our life, our defence, our infrastructure and our economy. It operates high capital cost equipment in a cyclical market of fluctuating demand with some of the highest energy prices in the world and against competitors that are supported by their national governments. The UK is not, as some would have us believe, a place uniquely unsuited to the manufacture of steel. It is instead a place that's lost touch with the importance of steel in everyday life, and a country that's shown a dangerous indifference to the economic, social and security consequences of allowing other national governments to promote their own steel industry at the expense of our own. Britain needs British steel. Our transport networks, homes, offices and factories, our defence and security, all of this is reliant on steel. This is why every industrialised nation views its steel industry as the bedrock, the foundation of its economy, and why so many countries around the world stand by their steel industry through thick and thin. Uniquely in the UK, we take a different view. We cling desperately to an economic model of the world that doesn't exist outside of academic theory. There are many people who would argue that the distress in the UK industry is evidence that we cannot be competitive in the steel manufacturing, and that instead it would make economic sense to import the steel we need more cheaply from abroad. This would be a fairly orthodox and rational view for most manufactured goods, based on standard economic theory, but it ignores some fundamentally important principles in connection with steel, which means that if we were to follow this advice, we would be acting against our own national interests. The real world is complex and messy, where a nation-state needs to provide security, employment and infrastructure, as well as essential services for its population. There may be no easy or quick solution, but allowing this industry to fade away will only lead to offshoring of production, the redundancy of highly skilled workers and a weakening of our sovereign capability in a way that no other developed economy would allow. Steel is special. It's vital for where we live, where we work, how we move around, and what keeps us safe. Working with the industry to find the solution to this problem is in the economic best interests of us all.